Good morning, everyone. Here is the Tower of Babel piece, more or less finished. At some point in the fullness of time, maybe I will complete the other two sides of the triangular piece. And I changed my mind about how God was going to be represented. I did have a dodecahedron shape above the pyramid with lightning bolts coming out of it, because the dodecahedron was at one point considered sort of divine or magical solid, 12-sided solid, and but it looked too much like some sort of spaceship, and so I changed it to be a angry black cloud. The Old Testament God is quite vengeful, and I thought that made more sense. After I put this together, the holes that represent the eyes and the mouth were part of the cardboard itself, and I thought it would be sort of funnier if the spike of the pyramid went into the eye of the vengeful God, because that's sort of what this tower did to him. It sort of poked him in the eye, saying, as if to say, we're just as great as you are, we mere mortals working together to create something magnificent. And one of the reasons that God reacted against this tower was that hubris. And he complained that if they could create this together, what else could they do? This perfect creation of his, if you believe that mythology, what else could they do if they worked together? So in the Old Testament, lightning bolts, well, not exactly lightning bolts, but at some point, the vengeful God caused all of the workers of the tower to speak different languages, to confound them so they couldn't work together. So here the lightning bolts come down. All of the people, in case you can't see this, all of the people are made of letters, black and white lettering. And occasionally there's a number thrown in. There's a Gothic K, an R and an R and an O, an E and an A and an O, a B and or E and an A, and a light bulb. A light bulb. Anyway, and there's a little arrow, the head on the E. So they're not all entirely letters, but they are graphics from the written word, written language that we have. And they're all black and white. So showing the conversion of these people speaking one language into a group of people speaking many languages, which is what this fairy tale was describing. It was used to answer the question, why are there so many languages on the earth? And it's because he made it happen. So the lightning bolt is turning, presumably, these black and white people that are working together into orange people, and these are made of sort of a Germanic black letter drop shadow font from some box or other. These are sort of chancery script font with blue and gold highlights. Down here we have reddish orange, I guess, lettering, Roman lettering, italic. They're all slanted a little bit. I think they were all slanted. So this person here is made of a small a. I guess that looks pretty unslanted, doesn't it? An R and two L's. Here we have a U and an E and another U and two L's. Or anyway, I don't know what those serifs could be. Here we have a D and an L and a something, V maybe, or I'm not sure. Oh, that's the R. That's the tail of the R and the vertical of the R. And the E is an E, representing legs and a winky. Here you have script letters representing 3 of the 4 workers here, dropping this piece into place. The barcodes sort of represent unfinished stones being moved around before they're painted or finished and set into the right location. Here, 2 people are late for work. This guy's yawning or sneezing or something, I don't know what. So that's how this works. This is in a show in our gallery. Our building has a gallery, and the show is entitled Construction Destruction. This one is a photo array that documents the destruction of a waste transfer station and abandoned incinerator down the block. And, oops, it reads like this. It reads like a comic book. There are 16 things that we tried to figure out how to make them work. And because this room is small and it had to hold other artwork, we ended up, I suggested that this is a way to do it. So it reads sort of like a comic book. Left to right, top to bottom. Left to right, top to bottom. And we staggered. I suggesting staggering them like this, just to sort of help lead you from this wall to that wall. Another artist has chosen to create 2 collaborative pieces where we can play with rounded stones and squared stones. And the rounded, these blocks were carefully sanded down to have slightly concave surfaces to them, sides to them, to be able to balance round rocks onto these flat stones. So you can build sort of a snowman kind of a thing. And I'm going to come down here every day and document what people have made and post them on the wall behind them here. Artists tend to be, in this building, because we all know each other, we tend to be polite. And if someone builded, to borrow the phraseology from the Genesis, if someone builded something there, one might feel less at ease to take it down and build something of your own, because we respect the other artists pretty well. Here's a triptych showing a spaghetti land of, a land of overpasses and underpasses and traffic layout, highway layout that looks like a bowl of spaghetti was dropped on the floor. And this is some scaffolding in a at a construction site. Here's a destruction site. I'm not going to go through all of these to explain them to you or to show them to you. I'll just pick a few that I know a little bit more about. Behind my building, there used to be this beautiful bridge, which is also depicted elsewhere. I'll show you that one. And it was neat because it was the tracks were laid out on a vertical line like this. The bridge was at an angle like this. So it was really it was a rhomboid in plan. So it was really cool. Very different than how you normally would see it. And David has chosen to, he drew a winter scene here using black and white and a little bit of cream color, which is really kind of interesting, and a warmth to a cold, awful day. And you can see the skyline of Boston at that point, 30 years ago or 20 years ago, looked like that. Well, now they're building all sorts of stuff. They've taken the train bridge down, and here you see the pie-shaped trestles for the new track and new bridges that are coming in. And here this building is being built, where here you see it finished, and they're still working on the trains there. So this grouping shows destruction and construction. It's more construction than destruction. Then there's my thing here, of course. You know that. You've been watching me. We've got mask-making factory happening here. And this was a piece that was meant to be part of a different show, and the artist took it apart and altered it to make something else. And she realized that by destroying this piece to make other ones, it fit this show title. Here's the building again, and here's where that bridge used to be that David did, and here's that bridge as it used to be, as seen from another building. And it looks like this is the Zakim Bridge as it was being built a long time ago. So a lot of us have chosen, including me with my red cranes, have chosen construction as our theme, where other people have chosen destruction as theirs. And I don't know what all of these, in fact, mean, but I haven't studied them as much as I should. So what's this? Blue, it says. The show after this is going to be called Blue, and it's people who interpret that word in whatever way they want. So it could be blue in the sense of depression, it could be blue in the sense of water, or blue in the sense of X-rated pornography. We're called, the laws against that are called blue laws. It could be about the blue laws also in Boston were not to sell liquor on Sunday. So here's my palette for my blue. I'm making the sign, that's my work over there. I'm making the sign, and because the company that makes signs for us for the shows is not an essential company, so it shouldn't be open. It is open, don't tell anyone, but they don't have there's not that many people working there, so it's one person sort of working all of the printers and doing a job without fear of infecting others. So I chose to donate my sign-making ability to create a sign. So my thought was to have the letters be, this is a very dark blue, and behind it I was going to have lighter blues, and then behind that have regular cardboard color that have blue lettering on them. So that was my original thought. And as often happens, my original thought doesn't work as well as I thought it would. So I may take a very, very bright blue, maybe blue that has some white lettering in it or some sort of bright coloring, and sort of edge the darker parts to sort of outline them to make them stand out a little bit more. So you may see even some color like that magenta or this yellow showing up, just little tiny flecks of it to cause the rods and cones, whichever are the color ones in your eyeballs, to function. But it's really fun. We had a show entitled Green last summer, and the green was really, really fun. People really got a kick out of it, and so the idea of blue was perfect. And we do have these thematic shows in our gallery, and some people don't like them because there's no way that they can imagine their artwork fitting into a theme if they do something that's very specific. Let's say the only thing I do is paint the human figure naked. It's typical subject matter that has been around forever. From the Venus de Willendorf until the day after tomorrow, artists have drawn naked people. And if that's all I did, how does that fit in a show called Destruction Construction? I could draw a naked person with a hammer building a house. I suppose I could do that. But some people find these thematic shows constricting. I find them inspiring. I think, I never would have done this piece of artwork unless this show inspired me to do it. So once again, I find what some people see as a barrier to create things, I try to see as an opportunity. And in some cases, I make one piece for the show, but it causes me to make 20 other pieces after that because it's such a cool idea. And I may do 20 versions of a similar thing that I did, or I might take the theme and come up with 20 completely different solutions for that thing. So it's really fun how you deal with constrictions or a boundary that's set up, a wall that some people will see as a barrier to keep them from working or showing something or doing something, but it actually inspires creativity. So when you find yourself with a barrier, I'm sure that there is a way that you can go through that without, loading a bazooka and just blowing it apart. You can say, well, how can I make this, keeping that barrier there, how can I do something creative rather than destructive? So now that I'm done with this, I will try to fix the thing that I came down here at 4:30 in the morning to do, and I will continue to do it. I found 2 more boxes that have blue lettering on them in the recycling, so I'm inspired a little bit more than I was before I found those 2 little boxes in the recycling. So I will have fun. Are you going to have fun today? I hope so. We have a long haul ahead of us here, and it's not going to be pretty. So it's up to you and me and everyone else on this planet to figure out how to survive. And there is a way to do it. Use your head and make it happen. Good luck to all of us. We need it. And it's remember what we did right this time and what we did wrong this time, so that the next time it happens, and it will happen, we'll know what to do faster. So don't forget, don't be blue. Be whatever color you want, but don't be blue.